All right, the last part in 2.3 is solving proportions. And a proportion is a fraction set equal to a fraction. Notice that I don't have any pluses or minuses on any of these problems that you have on your page. So to solve a proportion, you just cross multiply. So that means that I'm going to be multiplying at an angle, at a diagonal. So I'm multiplying 2 times x and I get 2x. I'm multiplying 7 times 5 and I'm getting 35. It does not matter which one you do first. You can't get this wrong. So when I multiply, I put the first product on one side of the equal sign, the second product on the other, and then I just solve for x. So when I divide both sides by 2, this is all I can do. So x is going to equal 35 over 2. I can't simplify that. That's my solution. The next one, I have 13 times x is 13x. 6 times 4 is 24. So when I get the x by itself, all I'm doing is I'm going to divide both sides by 13. And so x equals 24 over 13. Again, something I cannot simplify. Now, sometimes it's not that easy. If you notice, number 3 has a little bit more going on than 1 and 2 did. So if you do have a binomial, which we haven't really discussed, that means 2 terms in the numerator or the denominator of a proportion, you're going to use parentheses. So I'm going to do the same thing, cross multiply, but this time I'm going to write it as 3 times 8 plus x in parentheses like that, and 5 equals 5 times 5 plus x in parentheses like that. So we're still using our cross multiply rule, except we have more than one thing that we have multiplied to, so we're going to have to use our parentheses. So that means I'm going to distribute on both sides and solve the equation. So 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times x is 3x. Bring down my equal sign. Then I'm going to distribute the 5. 5 to the 5 gives me 25. 5 to the x gives me 5x. Alright, now I need to start moving things to the left and the right. So I always try to move my variables first and I go to the left. I'm going to subtract my 5x to both sides. And so I'm going to bring down my 24. So I have 24 different signs for my x's. So I'm going to have a negative 2x. And bring down my equals and my 25. Now I want to move this 24 over. Remember, it is a plus 24. So I want to do the opposite of that and subtract 24 to both sides to get my variable by itself. So I have negative 2x equals different signs. I subtract, hit the sign of the bigger number, so I am going to have a positive 1. Now just to give me a little bit more room, I'm going to have 2x equals 1 right over here. Divide both sides by a negative 2. I can't simplify that, so x just equals negative 1/2. Okay, we have one more. That last one is on the last page. I'm going to put that up there just in case you need to look at that last problem. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to cross multiply. And notice that there are multiple things again. So when I do this again, I am going to use my parentheses just like I did before. So I'm going to multiply 7 times the z minus 3 equals 2 times the z minus 5. So when I distribute, I have 7 to my z is 7z. 7 to my negative 3 is a negative 21. Bring down my equal sign. 2 to my z is 2z. 2 to my negative 5 gives me a negative 10. So just like I did before, I'm going to solve my equation. I'm going to move my 2z over, so it's a plus 2z. I'm going to minus 2z to both sides to get rid of it from the right and bring it to the left. So 7 minus 2 gives me 5z. Minus 21 comes down, equals comes down, and my minus 10 comes down. Now I want to get rid of this minus 21, and I'm going to add 21 to both sides. So when I add 21, it cancels it out on the left side, and I have 5z left equals different sign, so I'm going to subtract, take the sign, the bigger number, and I get 11, positive 11. Divide both sides by 5 to get the z by itself, and z equals 11/5. So this wasn't difficult, but it was just a little strange looking. So if you had any problems with your proportions, let me know.